YouTube has certainly changed over the years. What began originally in its original iteration as a dating website evolved into the largest platform for content creation and creativity. You literally could find anything on YouTube back in the day, from meme compilations, high school graduation videos, tutorials, and of course, the ever-growing gaming-related content. Early days of YouTube would see a surge of Final Fantasy, How to Kill Ruby and Emerald Weapon videos, or the increasingly popular Resident Evil speedruns for the original trilogy. In 2007, however, a new category of gaming-related content would spark a newfound interest in which would shape the foundation of how gaming content would be viewed on the platform. Let's discuss what exactly happened to Let's Plays. A Let's Play is a style of video in which the creator documents a playthrough of a video game, oftentimes including commentary and a visual presentation on the creator themselves, i.e. a webcam. Entirely different from the average strategy guide-based walkthroughs, a Let's Play is oftentimes a recollection or first-time experience from the creator's perspective, documenting both expression and general knowledge or lack thereof, to heighten the sense of familiarity with the viewer. Serving as a base of entertainment, Let's Plays took a different approach to the mass gaming forums across the internet, no longer opting to print and read endless walls of text from a game facts-based walkthrough. Now the creator was in front of the audience, discussing anything about the game itself, their own knowledge at the time of recording, general rambling about other topics during points of lull, rambling or yapping for the newer generation, and oftentimes doing voice acting to match the NPC character currently speaking. Creator Slowbeef is often credited by initially creating the Let's Play format via the Something Awful forums at or around 2007, but it wasn't until 2008 when a creator known as Sugar Conroy would create the first major impact for the niche with his Let's Play of Earthbound on YouTube in March of 2008. This format would quickly gain a massive interest in the gaming community. No longer were people just posting a screenshot on a blog of a moment they took in-game and allowing the community to either vote, give feedback, or discuss what the player should do or can expect. Now gamers were starting to develop content in which talking into the unknown void was the norm. The floodgates were truly opened. Creators around the world would document their journey through many a title, from the aforementioned Final Fantasy and Resident Evil, to even older beloved games such as Super Metroid, The Legend of Zelda. 2008 would be the pinnacle of gamers coming from various forms to share their love for anything video games, myself included. You truly could discover any gaming title to have at least one Let's Play associated with it. I'm talking popular categories from Pokemon, Resident Evil, Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy, to lesser known, more exotic titles such as Phantasmagoria, Miserna Falls, Overblood, and more. If you have no idea of the titles I just mentioned, thank you for helping me age myself even further. I am a senior citizen millennial after all. Generation 1 is debated by many, but I would pretty much classify a creator whom started during the period of 2006 to 2008 to be the true Generation 1. The surge of Let's Playing and techniques utilized to record such content was diverse and varied. Keep in mind that it wasn't common to have a game capture card device just laying around the house. Products such as Elgato, Hauppauge HD PVRs, Diamond Multimedia, and even Pinnacles weren't established just yet to help assist us in 2006, or at the very minimum, were very hard to find. My first capture card came from a flea market on Happen Chance, just to put things into perspective. So what exactly did creators do to record gameplay, you may ask? Well, that's simple. We either used burned CDs with respective DVD recorders, or we simply took our best webcam and mounted it to point directly towards the television screen. No, I am not kidding. This approach was the actual norm back in the day and often praised for the courage to do such a task, not knowing how the audio would be picked up or outside factors out of the creator's control, such as nearby construction sounds, animals barking, or that random neighbor dispute, or my personal favorite, college bro dormitory disruption. Shoutouts to you fraternities, crazy goofballs, and their Friday night shenanigans. With that image in mind, I also now want you to try to imagine us Let's Players trying to record Game Boy Color footage, like Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, SP, all of that, for that awesome Pokemon Red idea that we had jotted down in class. You ever try to play a game on a small video camera screen? You simply haven't lived, fellow gamers. When I say you could find anything back on YouTube back in the day, I mean it. I watched the entirety of the Crow and Crow 2 films way back in the day. However, YouTube at the time had 10-minute video limitations, so 10 minutes. This applied to any and all forms of content on the platform. Let's Plays were no exception. Yep, that favorite Metroid Fusion playthrough you enjoyed watching? 20 parts. Watching someone try to kill Psycho Mantis for the first time in Metal Gear Solid? 30 parts. RPGs suffered the most, as Final Fantasy Let's Plays were upwards of 40 plus episodes in length due to the aforementioned time restraint. To their credit, however, those old FF Let's Plays were all bangers in their own individual right. LPers flourished in creativity, and we started to see communities beginning to form outside of the old forms. Let's Players such as Chuck Conroy, Nintendo Capri Sun, Sunkist Journey, Proton John, Exodus Reach, Dark Kefka, and so many more were steadily rising in popularity. Even the femme fatales out there got in on the action, with the queen herself, Lucajin, credited as pioneering the Let's Play approach for the female-based creators in the general space. Really, she did an amazing job. With the gaming content growing, so did YouTube. The original partner application was established to give creators the chance to upload content past the 10-minute stretch to approximately about 30-minute max, and this was a complete game changer. However, this was notoriously difficult to get into, and not many of Gen 1 Let's Players were ever accepted into the partner status in comparison to creators who did more broad-styled content such as Ray William back in the day. Eventually, Generation 2 Let's Players were coming into the fray, taking the Let's Play approach and broadening the content even further. During 2008 to about 2009, we began to see more titles being explored, such as fighting games or even first-person shooters, beginning to make their official Let's Play debuts. Although, during this time, the unspoken rule for newer titles was established. Basically, in short, a promise that all Let's Players coming in would not create a new Let's Play for an expected title until at least 2 months after that video game's release. Although this rule could realistically never be enforced, most of us respected it. It truly did feel like a tight-knit community. YouTube at this time also explored channel banners and channel art. This allowed for more diversification with individual creators. Imagine your individual homepage now having actual art to it. Oftentimes, we in the Let's Play community would have our videos featured in the middle of the page, while the sides bordering said middle portion would be allocated for a wide variety of games we enjoyed, oftentimes featuring characters from games we have previously or are currently doing a Let's Play on. Pokemon was very popular in that type of format. Y'all remember those days, right? We didn't all have this modern simplification style tied to us that we currently do. We actually had individual creativity and expression of a person. Also widely popular during this time was creators invested in game reviews. You see, television programs such as G4 TV, with shows such as X-Play, Cheat, Electric Playground, were all amazing. Trust me, they were astounding for their time. However, but sometimes you just needed that exact style of content when scrolling through the web. Channel Awesome, Angry Video Game Nerd, Spoonie1, Zero Punctuation all provided us that perfect game critique for days when we needed a good laugh. Again, disclaimer, if you have no idea of the names I just mentioned, thank you for helping me feel one step closer to oblivion. Also, for the record, machinima-based content was still the rage at this time. World of Warcraft music-style videos were blossoming, and the oldie but goodie Red vs. Blue on Rooster Teeth was still a solid choice. Generation 3 of the Let's Play community saw its roughest phase. Channels now trying to push for the newly established YouTube partnership program would try and join creator groups to help grow their numbers in hopes of being the next one selected. At this point in time, the influx of creators far outgrew the big but still small-knit community. Commentary became such a prime focus, with more reactionary-based content steadily taking over. When I mean reactionary, I'm talking about putting over-emotion into the content itself. You see, Let's Plays in the traditional format also featured reactions, but you can tell from the creator that they were genuine. The new popular ideology steadily overemphasized this twofold approach, making every Let's Play feel kind of watered down or slightly over-dramatized. Despite many of us arguing that this doesn't necessarily feel genuine, and it didn't, it was the trend that would further shape both the platform of YouTube and Let's Plays as a whole. Eventually, Minecraft came into play, and when I say that game shaped the future generations, it really did. Let's Plays spiked in popularity overnight. Minecraft became the game to record an LP on, and the reaction-based commentary was as popular as ever. If you were to ask the younger teenage me if I enjoyed this style of content, I would have absolutely said no. I do, however, appreciate what Minecraft did for gaming as a whole, especially when it comes to combining gaming into the public education system or awareness in the neurodivergent community. Creators credited during this time would be names such as PewDiePie and Markiplier. Fun fact, Markiplier and I both attended the same university. We can also begin to see the indie game realm exploding in popularity, with newly developed indie horror games taking the show. I give credit to guys like Psychedelic Snake back in the day for providing us with some of the best indie horror gaming reaction commentary I've ever heard in my life. To this day, that stuff was gold. Nowadays, you kids call it streamer games. As a proud millennial, we call it indie horror. Also during this time, lesser-known survival horror titles would be explored in great depth. Let's Plays of Call of Cthulhu or Amnesia, The Dark Descent, or even older and more point-and-click titles were starting to pop up everywhere. So while the format of Let's Playing would be changed forever during this time, some creators that spiked in popularity would still keep it old school and provide the newer generation with the gift of the older titles that we had once played. So what exactly happened to Let's Plays? Here we are in 2026 in the old format of numbering each thumbnail, creating a more aesthetically pleasing but slower paced and peaceful demonstration of a game we enjoy is simply not popular anymore, and I would argue it hasn't been in quite a while. Creators now often try to mask a Let's Play by establishing greater curiosity in the title and thumbnail, each serving the purpose to pique your interest in hopes you may click to boost both CTR and algorithm itself. There is no shame in the game, as the game has changed. I am certainly not one to argue with those trying to make it in this space. I will, however, say my 2 cents and argue that there is still a dedicated space for the more old school approach. I take inspiration from many World of Warcraft creators over here on YouTube. Robert Rambles, Azeroth Dan, Undead Adam, High Lord Brother of Oklahoma, Lady Survival, Tiny Tie Girl, Acid K, and many others of whom are keeping the traditional elements of Let's Play alive in their own respective way. In many ways, Let's Level was created on this basis. Level characters and explore Warcraft through a newer/returning player's perspective, all the while providing some modernization elements into the craft. You can begin to see a creator develop their craft over time. Don't believe me? Take a look at this. Take a look at our channel, my channel here in particular. Go to the oldest video and keep scrolling. You can start to see a creator develop themselves as time goes on based on the thumbnail alone. One could even recall their favorite creator's timeline or creating path based on that specific era. Haha, the good old days. Creating on YouTube is an endeavor. I am proud to have been a part of Generation 1 Let's Player world, and I am even prouder to be a part of the World of Warcraft creator space, however big or small. Like many, I enjoy creating art for those of whom wish to spend some time checking it out. Many of us dream of making this the main primary income and full-time gig, and many will create multiple channels in hopes of striking it big one day. This isn't my first YouTube channel, and I'm sure many of you would argue the same. For myself, however, I do this for fun, as a passion and to try something different. Let's not argue that if you reside in the USA, life is expensive, health insurance doesn't come cheap. It's important to maintain what you have until one day the big break may come. Many Let's Players from back in my day have moved on in life, starting families, following other passions, and becoming successful in their own right. For myself, I'm not entirely satisfied with where I am, individually speaking, but I know that with work and determination, maybe I can achieve this minor passion project goal of mine before I hit retirement age. Whether that happens or not is truly to be determined, but I'll be happy to have left behind endless hours of content for my kids to one day stumble upon and say, wow, Dad did YouTube, or maybe the expected, ew, Dad did YouTube? Either way, I'm looking forward to seeing this journey through and seeing everyone around me grow in their own individual way. Let's Playing has changed, and we can make it even better. Thank you all so very much for tuning in to another off the cuff / off the rip. I'm really trying to still debate on a name for this, proper name for this series, but thank you all so much for tuning in. I think this topic I've been meaning to talk about for a while, and I generally think there's a lot of interest behind the old school traditional elements of Let's Play and kind of like where it is now, especially for us that have literally grown up with the platform as it continued to grow over the years. You know, from 5-star ratings to thumbs up and thumbs down and old Dragon Ball highlights or montages with Linkin Park music to whatever we have now. the art and the game has changed quite a lot over the years. But again, I think many of you out there definitely have an older, or just like we have the memories tucked in our heads of like, this is how it used to be, this is how it is now. I just figured it'd be a cool subject to just talk about and to kind of lay out my foundations of how I started on YouTube and kind of where I am now and where I'd like to be. I think it's a very personal message, and at the same time, I think many of you would definitely resonate with it. If nothing else, then just more so, hey, don't give up on your dreams, don't give up on your goals, but be adaptable. What was the old saying? What was the old saying Bruce Lee used to say? Be water, be adaptable, just Just be willing to learn and adapt and change over time, but don't lose that personal individual identity, if that makes any bit of sense. But it's a very cool topic. I'm glad I got to discuss it. It's kind of hitting some memories for me, hitting some very, very cool memories for me. But with that being said, we got more characters to level. We got more things to do in Azeroth, and I will catch you all sometime soon, hopefully in-game or in the next video yet to come. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please stop by the Let's Level channel. Got plenty of characters to level. Midnight's around the corner, and there's a lot of other WoW creators in the space, names that I just mentioned, that you absolutely should check out as well. I'll catch you all in the next one. Have a wonderful and safe week. Take care, everyone.